What's up, y'all? My name is Nico Tortorella, and this is another episode of Full of Shift. Hey, look, we're back at Spotify, downtown LA. There's something about this room that just, like, it's cozy. Obviously, I miss having Bethany here. We are weeks away from having our second child. Hopefully, she does not give birth while I'm having these conversations today. But, you know, we've built this show in a way that we can kind of do things differently, and it can shift over time. You know, while Bethany may not be able to be in every episode, I can pick up. Sometimes I'm not going to be able to do every episode, and Bethany can, you know, fill the space in incredible ways with awesome guests. And it's just cool that we've like built this space in a way that can shift and is flexible. And yeah, I'm excited for this episode today. Really excited. Our guest today is a legend, truly. He is a hockey player first, I would say. He is a fashion icon. He was a model for a little bit. He's an actor now. He's a golfer. He's a restaurateur. He's a podcaster. He's a sports commentator. He was a husband. He's a father now. He does all the things, right? And we met in 2016, kind of in like a funny little way. There was this project that was being put together about the story of his life for TV. And I got an email about it. And I grew up playing hockey. Like, hockey was a religion in my house growing up. And I jumped at the opportunity to get in a room with him and to figure out what a TV version of his life could look like. And we'll get into some of that on this episode today. But we got some shit. We got some shift to unpack on today's episode. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited just to talk to him about like how becoming a dad has shifted everything in his life. You know, I definitely want to have more conversations with fathers on this show and with dads. You don't always hear dads coming together to talk about their experience. And I definitely want it to be like an anchor of this show and my life, because it's just like everything that I'm experiencing right now. Okay, I'm rambling. Without further ado, I don't even know if I've said his name yet. Our guest today is the one and only Sean Avery. Let's bring him out. My name is Nico Tortorella, and this is Full of Shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift. All right, y'all. We're doing the thing. This is it. This is Full of Shift. Fucking Sean Avery is here right now.
I looked at the title. I was like, full of shit.
It's good, huh?
Yeah, well, because to me, it means so many different things, like having a full shift.
Oh, yeah, totally. I didn't even think about that.
60 seconds. And then I was like, full of shit.
Yeah. That's the little play on words there.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
Everyone. We stand by it. We wanted to get ahead of it.
You know? Yes, good.
We've said some crazy shift over the years.
Yeah.
And we're just calling our shift out.
Yeah.
Who is Sean Avery?
Oh, man.
I love that question.
Yeah. There's a great video on YouTube that like some guy made a while ago. It's like a montage. It's just me throwing water bottles into stands at arenas. Well, first
on the ice?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. One at home in Madison Square Garden, and I didn't mean to. I wanted to smash it off the inside of the penalty box, and you can see it slide out of my hand as I'm like trying to bring it down, and it just went. I don't know where it went, but you know, it was a Ranger fan, so they probably gave me a hall pass on that one. Who is Sean Avery? First of all, I would say right now, currently, the thing that I identify with the most is being a martial artist.
Okay.
Because I started taking jujitsu like 3 years ago.
Nice.
And that's been like a whole wild ride. But
did you do it as a kid?
No.
Too? No. You just started 3 years ago? Wow.
Never. And I wish I had have.
Yeah.
Because Nash is taking it now. And
You've always been a fighter.
I've always been a fighter.
Yeah.
And I will always be a fighter.
Right.
The difference is now I'll just never use my hands.
Hmm.
And the difference is now I would hug you first.
Yeah.
And try and like feel you in any form of like intimidation or, hey, let's stop this, because that's what jiu-jitsu is. You have to be like,
get control of the situation.
You have to be touching someone.
Hmm.
You have to actually feel them, and it's like a give and take. It's jiu-jitsu. I know it's like becoming sort of like a fad with UFC's getting big and there's a lot of exposure on it, but it's a wild thing where you just get broken.
Hmm.
And I started 3 years ago. We were all going through some shit. I was going through some shit. And I just walked into a gym, and then
in New
York? Yeah, no, here,
here.
in LA, yeah. Like a little mom and pop shop in Studio City. I'm a Valley guy. I like the Valley. You know? When I lived here, when I played for the Kings, I never went to the Valley. Yeah. I didn't even know the Valley existed.
Yeah, it's a whole other world over there.
Now, I don't ever want to go into Hollywood or West Hollywood.
That. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I walked in and I was just hooked. So I would say that's who I am right now.
Do you want to fight?
No.
Or just train?
No. I oh no, like I compete.
Yeah, compete.
You know, no, I go to competitions.
Oh, you do?
Like Cobra Kai. Yeah, like an adult.
I could like totally see you in the ring at some point.
It's
doing all the things.
It's very fun. It's so crazy. It's like you show up on a Saturday. And I'm fighting some guy, like some like carpenter. Yeah. Who's the same age as me, and we're the same weight. And like, it doesn't really matter who wins or loses. Obviously, I want to win every single time, but it's just Tom Hardy's like he just got his purple belt.
Oh, really?
He's pretty hardcore. He goes and does these fucking competitions.
Really?
You imagine? Like
fucking Tom Hardy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be different also for me, because it's like somebody's probably like, holy fuck. Like, who got the short end of the stick on this one? I'm like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, just full gorilla.
You know?
Yeah.
And this poor bastard from Encino, he's got to, and his kids are there.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, because at the end, we shake hands and we bow to each other, and it's like part of it.
But you like get some shit out while you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's like, I would say the first thing. And then now, I guess, I'm considered a working actor. I get paid to act. Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. Well, the money I don't care about.
Well, nobody's getting paid to do it right now. It's fucking dark.
It's dark.
Yeah, man. You really came onto the scene at like the worst time.
Yeah, which I kind of like. I just booked Happy Gilmore too, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's shooting in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. So
that's
that'll be fun.
Perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you playing yourself?
I'm playing like the on-course henchman.
Okay. Wait, that is legendary.
That's a pretty good cast.
I'm so excited they're making that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's in it, I think. Like Travis Kelce's going to be in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to
you
talk
like
about
Travis
this.
Kelce?
I mean, I appreciate him.
Yeah.
You were just at the game, right, where you saw them?
No, I was at a game. I don't think they played.
Not his game. You were at a game where you saw
was at
them.
No.
Taylor?
No.
No,
that was the U.S. Open. I just saw the clips.
A different game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were dancing.
Yeah.
And they just looked like they're
so happy.
Yeah.
Just like high school kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting drunk. They're fucking dancing.
I respect
singing,
it.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I've changed my tune on it.
You can't fight happiness.
No.
Man. Really, at the end of the day.
No. So that's and I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking wild job.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into all the dad stuff.
Yeah.
But since you brought up acting, let's start there. What was that decision to kind of like make that shift? Why? And what does it mean to you to kind of go down this route and to play other people? What is that?
Yeah. I mean, I think so when I was growing up, like theater kids we were like, they were weird.
Yeah. I was a full-fledged theater kid.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Right.
But I grew up in a family of all hockey players. So I totally understand both sides.
Of course. I know we can share that story.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about that at some point.
Totally.
That's pretty funny. So, I didn't I didn't identify with it at all, but I was a rabid, like I loved movies since I was probably 11 or 12.
Yeah.
When I was in the NHL and we were on the road trips doing, playing games, I would always go to the movies on the road. When I was done playing, a friend of mine, Peter Berg, was making a movie, and he kind of said it jokingly, but he was serious. He was like, "I'm doing this movie, Patriots Day. It's shooting in Boston. Take the train, come down, and I'll put you in it."
Yeah.
And
What year is this?
this is like probably 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. 14, 13, 14. I'm in a scene. He puts me in a scene. playing a Watertown police officer. It's about the Boston bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Wahlberg's in the scene. He yells action. It's like there's 200 people, and all of a sudden, I fucking blacked out.
Yeah, dude. That first action, there's nothing that anyone can say to prepare you for that moment. Because you really have no idea how a set operates.
No.
Until you're there.
No.
Yeah. It's fucking
it was
mind-boggling.
So I immediately, when I was on the train ride home, I was like, oh, like that was the closest feeling I've ever had since I've stopped playing to like scoring a goal in Madison Square Garden or fighting or
just
like that was a wild chase.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let me see what this is all about, and reluctantly walked into an acting class in New York City, which there's some great ones.
Yeah, of course.
This unbelievable woman, Kelly Kimball. And I was like, fuck it, I'm in. I'm gonna try and do that. And it really took me 6 years to understand what it is and how to like memorize and just how to even make it real. Really, it took 6 years. And for some reason I got lucky, and like I got agents probably after the second year, and they just let me audition like once a month for 3 years.
Yeah.
And
do you like an audition?
I love auditioning.
Yeah, most people don't.
I fucking love it.
An audition. I mean, it really is a sport.
Yeah.
Like if you approach it like a game, right?
Yeah.
Like there is a goal in mind.
Yeah.
You have to prepare.
Yeah.
You have to fight.
Yeah.
Right? You have to transform.
Yeah.
And the fighting for the job is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. And
most actors don't say that.
I'm relentless.
Yeah.
I'll Instagram now. Yeah. I'll DM
a director, producer. Fuck yeah.
Straight up.
I love it.
And say, I just taped.
Yeah.
I'm not going to send you the tape.
Right.
I fucking killed the tape.
Yes.
I want the job.
Yes.
And like, that's the only way you're going to make this.
Yeah, it's true.
Business.
Especially now that there's no casting rooms anymore, right? Like we are in this like little bubble at our house trying to film everything now, right? We have to be the camera operator, we have to be the sound person, then we have to fucking edit it all, and then we have to send it out. I mean, it's a full-time job.
I had an audition for this. I think it's an ABC show that's out right now or about to come out called High Fidelity.
Okay.
And it was 12 pages and I had 24 hours.
They always give us 24 hours to turn the shit around, which
24
is crazy.
hours, right. It's ridiculous. And there's a law now or a rule that it can't be longer than 8 pages.
Wow.
Which I don't, like if you give me 3 days and you want to or if you want to see 3 scenes because you need to see 3 scenes, then
you'll figure it out.
Now I'm at the point and I picked the hardest scene, which was the first scene. And I fucking killed it. And I said, I'm not doing these other 2 scenes. And when I did my slate, I said, hi, I'm Sean Avery, 5'10", Los Angeles. Thanks for sending 12 pages of dialogue in 24 hours, but I'm only doing the first.
I love it.
And that was
I respect that.
And because, like, they're going to remember me.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Off of that slate.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't planning or they were just like, they're going to watch the slate and go, what the fuck?
Right.
And then watch the scene.
Yeah. I always try to find a way to call out whoever is watching in the slate,
Yeah.
especially if I
Smart.
have like personal relationships with
Right.
anyone on the other side.
Smart.
Yeah, the
Break
slate
the
is like your
barrier.
first introduction, right?
Yeah.
And it was different when we would go into casting rooms.
Yeah.
Because there was space to introduce yourself outside of the character, right?
Right.
You go in, you say hi, you small talk, you shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know? And like a lot of people are booking jobs straight from these tapes.
Yeah.
Where they show up on these sets and nobody's ever met them in person before. And then you have no idea who's coming into your world.
Right.
I've seen it go very poorly.
I went in for Supergirl with Mary Verneau
Yeah. Love Mary.
2 weeks ago. It was the first time I'd been in a room.
Uh-huh.
And
She was my first room back in. I was in a room with her and Darren Aronofsky a few weeks ago.
oh, nice.
Yeah. I
How'd
love
you
Mary
feel?
so much. It was intense. It was great to be back in a room.
Right.
I mean, that rush is just,
Yeah.
especially him
It's
too, my
sick.
first time back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
sick.
he said
That's
at the top,
juicy.
he was like, "You're my first actor in a room post-COVID."
Right.
I was like, well, fuck yeah. I
Cool.
didn't get the job, but
Right.
it was still awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but that's nice. Like, and I walked in and I was like, wow, this feels exciting. I'm probably going to black out,
Yeah.
but let's go.
Mary's got a great energy in
Yeah.
the room, though.
Yeah.
She like brings you down to earth immediately.
Yeah. And I think, loves actors.
Loves actors.
Yeah.
Loves the game. She's really, casting directors especially are having a hard time right now. So many casting directors have lost their spaces. They don't
Yeah.
even have offices
I know.
anymore, right? Because everything's done from home.
Yeah.
And all of these like top tier casting directors just don't have jobs
Yeah.
anymore because nothing is being shot.
Yeah. Are you going to do a Marvel movie at some point?
I mean, I think I would love to.
Like James Gunn? You and Gunn probably would be,
I would love that.
right?
Yeah.
How active are you? Like, if a week goes by and it's like, I don't know, when do you start getting antsy?
Yeah. You mean post audition?
Or no,
Or
just
like in between.
in
Yeah.
between, or like if something hasn't,
Yeah.
if it's not like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you,
I mean,
you
I
just
stay
wait?
busy.
You're patient because you're
I-
doing so many
I'm
other
doing
things.
so many things.
Yeah, you're not
And
chasing it.
also, like, I've been in dad mode for the last year and a half, right? If there
Right.
was ever a time where I wasn't working full time, I mean, I've been on TV for the last 15 years, right?
Mhm.
As a series regular. Like, I've been working nonstop. And this
Yeah.
is the longest I haven't worked since I was 19. It's
Yeah,
been almost 2 years in December since I've been on set.
yeah,
But if there was ever a time to be home, it's right now.
right,
Like,
right,
I'm home every day with my kids.
yeah. Do you think that
I'm antsy, though.
you're ever gonna go back? Can you be a TV guy now and be a dad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely want to get back to TV.
yeah.
It's just the like consistency of
Right.
the job.
You like
right?
that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that has to be nice. I
And
mean, that's yeah,
There's a freedom to TV in terms of the work itself as an actor. You don't ever know where the story is going. You know,
Right.
with a film, like you have a beginning, you have a middle, and an end. You know exactly what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? And there's something about TV that happens where the writers and the creators, after working with you for a little bit, they'll start writing for you,
right,
right? And so there becomes this like living and breathing relationship.
right. Especially if you
fucking sick.
perform
Yeah, well, you have to.
and the audience, you
The
know,
audience appreciates you. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, characters get changed because of audience perception.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love TV.
yeah. You could like two dads and a baby,
Let's do it.
but no,
Let's
we
just
should
develop it right now.
no, it should be you playing two dads.
Oh yeah,
The same.
the same.
Yeah, they've done it a million times.
Yeah, like twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I love the idea. I've played a dad before, but like, especially as I'm getting older, I think about the roles that I want to play and the roles that like I'm right for, you know? But I want to play this like middle of nowhere, Florida, just like swamp, single dad,
Yeah, grinding.
grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daughter?
yeah.
Yeah. Little daughter?
Little dog, just me and her running around
Right.
barefoot, you know?
Right. Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to get dramas off the ground right now.
Right.
Everyone's making comedy because the world is so fucking dramatic that like
Yeah.
people want to release right now.
Yeah.
Like any sort of indie drama right now is hard to get off the ground.
Yeah. I don't even know what movie I saw in the theaters last.
Yeah, I do. Little Mermaid. We don't even go to the theaters anymore.
Oh, you went, you
I
saw
took
Little
her to-
Mermaid?
yeah, I
Why?
took-
Because it was IMAX? They were just wild?
It was just it's one of Bethany's favorite movies,
Oh,
and it was like months after she was born. Kilmer.
yeah.
I mean, she was sleeping the whole time. She
Right.
watched like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last time I was in a theater.
That's cool. That's good to just I'm gonna take Nash to Transformers. That's gonna be
Nice.
his first one.
How old is he now?
He just turned 4.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a
July
fun age.
28th.
I'm
Yeah.
July 30th.
July 30th.
Yeah, a
What is
little
that? What is that sign? I
Leo.
should know that.
You have a July Leo.
He's a Leo.
Fire, dude.
What does that mean?
Just center of attention. He's going to want it all.
Oh.
Super competitive, athletic, specifically July Leos.
Really?
Yeah, you got to get his full chart read where you can see, if you know what time he was born, you send it to me. I'll send you his full chart.
Yeah.
Where you see where all of the other planets were, where his moon sign was. It's fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah. When
Wow.
Kilmer was born, I had her chart up 20 minutes after she was born. We gave birth in a tent.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was beautiful.
Thanks, dude.
The journey was wild.
Yeah, fucking
Dude,
crazy.
you guys
We
you
gotta
guys
start.
let it rip.
We got to start building the tent when I get back home next week.
You got to get ready.
Yeah,
Same tent?
it's time. Same tent. We brought
Beautiful.
the whole thing down with us.
Beautiful.
We're gonna put it outside this time around. Yeah,
Because the weather's nice
summer's
and
in
it'll
Florida.
be
We got a lanai. It's the perfect spot for the tent.
wow.
Yeah,
And
man,
you had a
it's-
big crew
it's
there
game time.
too, right?
There were 5 women there. We have a smaller team this time,
Yeah.
just because our midwives in New Jersey were 3 women. We only have 1 midwife. I guess she'll come with an assistant, and then we'll have a doula and a photographer, so it'll be 4.
Wow.
4 women.
Yeah, so the first 2 years of being a dad versus the second 2-year block,
Yeah,
which is 3 and 4,
yeah,
it's like an explosion of just life.
Hmm.
Everything sort of changes because
Once they start talking too, right?
yeah, this person is a person now,
Yeah.
and they can tell you things. And I've been doing a lot with Nash over the last the whole time, but like the same activity. So he golfs. He's a golfer.
The golf content is solid.
It's wild. But there was a year where we golfed together where he couldn't talk.
Right.
And now seeing the transition of being able to have him talk while we golf, it's like everything becomes so much richer,
Hmm.
and the depth on it is like and you're also seeing somebody that's you.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
It's wild.
When you start to see yourself in them and you get to experience childhood all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's changed every single thing about who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And it like seemingly happened overnight,
Right.
especially just the way in which she came into the world, right? Like we just set it up in such a special way. And
Yeah, and I can see you like when I look at the way you hold or
Mhm.
held your first baby,
yeah,
right? It was a little bit more, and I was always holding Nash, but like there was something a little bit, it was a little bit more tender.
softer, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
which I looked and I saw and I was like, oh, that's fucking
Oh.
Nico. Like
Yeah.
he's such he's a G like that.
No,
You know what I
that's really
mean?
sweet. Well, there's something that happens with men too that's not talked about. Our testosterone levels drop when we have a baby.
That's
And nobody
wild.
ever fucking says
That
anything. about
science
it.
is
Yeah.
crazy.
But truly, like,
How is that?
we are supposed to soften when our child.
Who told you that?
It's true, dude. Look it up. Science,
And that's
man.
just an ether thing,
Yes.
or they know, your body knows that you've just had a child.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
yeah. Wow.
Like how? And I
But-
wonder if it's the same if you adopt or you have a surrogate.
I I would
or if
hope.
you become a step parent, right? Like,
Yeah.
surely there's a level of it that has to exist.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we talk about the chemical changes in women all the time, but we
Yeah.
don't ever have the dad version of that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And that's so much of the work that I like want to do in my world right now.
Well, that is a fucking mind blowing statistic, or whatever
Fact,
you
yeah,
would,
crazy.
because mine is lowering. It's weird. I feel like mine is, in a way, it's lowering and that softness, but
Mm.
I also feel so much more manly.
Protective too, in
Yeah.
so many ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two-sided.
It's kind of beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
it's like finding. I'm starting to feel like the equilibrium. Everything's kind of like, oh, this is like I like the pocket I'm in right now.
Mm.
I like the vibe. Like I like meeting other parents and talking to them about like kids shit
Yeah.
and conversations and people that I would have
Would
never.
never have met.
No.
Would never even
not
given
stop
the
to
time
talk
of day.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
You just be like on your thing and
Yeah.
on your shit.
Especially where we are in Florida right now, too. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Right,
So these parents that we're meeting are just so far from who we are.
right.
But you find these commonalities,
Yes.
You
Yeah.
have to meet somewhere.
Yeah.
And the
Otherwise,
kids, bring it together. It's
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the night that he was born or the day that he was born. You guys had a hospital birth, right?
Yeah.
How did you prep for all
Oh,
of that?
I was not, you know, I was not, I was not good.
No.
I was not good. No, I didn't understand the magnitude of it.
How could you?
I didn't have any idea like what Hillary was feeling.
Yeah.
And I thought, because when I got into hospitals or when I walk into a hospital for the last 20 years,
Right.
I equate it with, okay, I'm going in to get my abdominal fixed,
Right.
my shoulder, my hand.
Right. Your face.
I want
stitches,
in
yeah.
and I want out.
Right.
You're going to get me the drugs. I'm going to lay down on the table. I'm going to be a little bit nervous, but like I'm like a robot.
Right.
So we had a baby during COVID in New York City where they were sort of like trying to bully you and make you stay in the hospital. And I was very anti any sort of restrictions.
Anywhere in life, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in New York in 22, right?
Yeah. I thought like it had run its, no, yes. What year are we? No, 2020. I was still doing it a little.
Oh, you had him in 2020?
In 2020. Yeah. So we were in the thick of things. That being said, like, I remember the moment, and they had to pull Nash out with the suction cup. They had
Really?
to put the plunger on his head and
The
pull him
vacuum.
out.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing. Like, and Hillary was
Was it scheduled or did she go in because of labor?
she was induced.
She was.
Yeah,
Got it.
it was scheduled.
Yeah.
I wish I could have it back.
Hmm.
I wish I could have it back because it was just so much. There was so much shit going on at that moment in 2020. We were in a pandemic.
Yeah.
We were in a rental because we had black mold in our apartment.
Oh yeah.
But we were in the village and it was cool and like everything was good. But like, walking around with Nash at night because early on at his witching hour, you start to figure out like, okay, 6:30, 7:30,
Right.
and I would just walk up and down the street, the corner. We lived on Charles Street. All those things once we got home were beautiful. But I wish I could have it back. I see guys online. You see like funny stuff on Instagram where a guy like plugs in his PlayStation.
Yeah.
I should have fucking been there and been more present. But that's, I guess the beauty of it is you get like the second chance,
Yeah.
third chance, fourth chance. You can do it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, God willing.
yeah.
How do you feel like you changed right when it happened? Did you feel this like visceral shift? And did it seem like it was like this overnight thing at all?
Yeah, I felt like the first year for sure, I felt a little bit, we had a night nurse and we had a nanny during the day. And like, I was so focused on making sure that they had a parking spot.
Right.
And making sure that we had the
The
formula.
logistics of everything.
And we're not going to run out of anything. And like, I got to go uptown because we're in the middle of a pandemic and nobody will go anywhere. And I got to go up to Babies R Us or whatever it's called and get new pacifiers. I didn't sit still. And like, I remember one night, Nash woke up. He woke up every night early on.
That's what babies do.
And I would try and race downstairs and get the bottle made before the night nurse had to because she was an older woman, a Jamaican woman, beautiful woman, amazing woman.
God's work, really.
But like, and I slipped and I fucking went down like 4 or 5 stairs and it hurt. And I was like, I knew I was hurt at that moment. I know when I'm hurt. But I didn't stop and I got the bottle. I didn't take enough time to just like sit and let it sink in. But then it starts to
Manifest. Yeah.
happen, and like all of a sudden, they're crawling, and you're like, oh shit, this is like, okay, you can now follow me places.
Every day something happens.
Right.
Yeah. Even just like I was out of town last week, 4 days. I was in Nashville. I was playing a show. And coming home, it's like you grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wait till the growing pains start. That's fun. Because then you gotta
what do you mean?
like Nash goes to bed now and his legs. I remember getting growing pains
Yeah,
growing
yeah,
up. And they were awful. And he's getting them, and it's an incredible thing because you get a moment of stillness with him.
Mm.
Because he's like on the move.
Yeah. He's your
Stillness
son.
is like
Yeah.
if stillness to him and me now is like wrestling.
Mm.
So when I can just have him and he's laying there and like I can like look at his hands and shit
Yeah.
and just kind of take a minute and be like, oh, while I'm rubbing one leg and he's just like chilling and trying to. So it starts to, it starts to kind of like unfold in a different way, and seeing how they eat and like it's really wild. And then like other kids too and how they influence, and
Right.
other kids, bad kids are shitty kids.
Yeah. And the older they get too, and like
Yeah.
I got a call yesterday from Bethany. She had a little play date at the house, and one of the kids fell into the pool.
Oh.
And her mom was on the other side of the pool, and she like ran to go to the deep end. Bethany's almost 9 months pregnant.
Right. Right.
She was like, I turned into fucking Superwoman. I jumped in the pool from the other side, dove straight down, got her, the pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Who saved the baby.
Right.
It's just like.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that motherly instinct never, or the mama bear, even up until the moment, like, that's amazing.
She was like, truthfully, I'm glad that it happened once, like it got out of the way. I know I can move my body, right? Like that, that animal instinct just kicks in.
I embrace the accidents now.
Yeah.
Like I go, Nash, listen, put your Crocs on. You're running around the pool.
Yeah.
I stubbed my toe when I was 8 years old, and I have like my toenail never grew back the same.
I got a finger like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I tell him once, I tell him twice, maybe I'll tell him the third time. And then I just sit back and I'm like, I'm preparing myself for he's going to stub his toe. Like it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
And I sort of embrace that now of like kids learning their lessons and just kind of like learning their whole way.
We say it all the time, don't take the struggle away.
Yeah.
If she's trying to like get up on the chair, don't go help her.
Right.
Let her get up there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Don't take the struggle away.
Yeah, they need it.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. That's really good.
It's a good one, right?
That's very good. Cause and I'm the same way. Like, even now we'll get a Transformer toy, and like 10 minutes in, he's like, Dad, I can't do it. I go, listen, we made a deal before we got this toy that I was not going to help you.
Yeah.
Like you got a toy.
We need to put it together.
You got to put it together, man.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. Don't.
Cause like, I don't, I don't really want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And I probably don't know how to do it. And it's going to make me frustrated.
Yeah.
It's not my toy,
You're going to
man.
throw the toy across the room. Yeah.
So like those things are kind of wild. You start to see that like unfold but I also think now sports is so important.
Yeah. You definitely want him in the sports.
I think just
and he's taking it in a genuine way. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Right.
And who knows what's going to happen?
Of course.
He could become a poet.
Right.
I have no expectations.
Yeah. You can do both too.
You can do both. You're right. You're right. I mean, his dad's trying to do both.
You're doing all the things,
right?
Dude. Yeah.
So, but I think like at school and just how much they learn, it's really. Are you guys having a boy or a girl?
We're having a boy. Weeks away from my son.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And 2 under 2.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a year and a half.
Yeah.
We didn't waste any time.
No.
It took us a couple years to get pregnant with her. We had like a real struggle getting it done. And the day that we moved to Florida, we got pregnant.
Don't you think now, do you feel like now you guys have sort of mastered it and you can do it again whenever you want?
Yeah, I don't know about mastering it. But
like if you're like, let's go.
we've like, so we've seen the darker side of it.
Yeah.
And so like nothing can
Yeah.
shock us at this point.
Yeah, I will say parenting is a war.
Oh yeah. I
The
love
first 2 years is not
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's a fucking grind.
Dude, we haven't even had a babysitter.
Yeah, that's
we never
wild.
had a nanny. We never had a night nurse. It's just been us.
That's
We
wild.
moved to Florida because we have access to family.
Yeah,
But
which is huge.
huge, yeah. But you know, the fact that I'm not working right now, like I can be home. If I was on set, sure, we would have been staffed up, no
Yeah.
questions asked.
Yeah.
We had a postpartum doula for like the first 2 weeks. She came twice, 3 times.
Yep.
And I'm like great in a home. Taking care of home is just like what I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like after the second time she was there, I was like, listen, love you, appreciate
We're
you.
good, though.
Yeah, we don't need you.
Yeah.
Like I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you braid hair?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Bethany's really good with her hair. The mommy salon is like a thing in
It's
the
a thing.
house. Yeah. And
Right.
she can sit down and I mean, she'll sit down for 20 minutes and let us do her hair.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That you're not going to have that.
With boy. No.
No.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the difference,
Yeah.
you know? Because I mean, it's been so much of my work over the last few years, just like unpacking all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's something that happened in just being pregnant, having a daughter, like examining our biologies in ways where it's like, yeah, of course there's a fucking difference.
Yeah.
Like for anyone to say there's not, it's silly,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, but you know what I will say? I don't think there's a difference in, I guess, what sort of, certainly from a new age man or
Yeah.
a modern day man being a parent to a boy and a girl now should
Right.
be the same thing.
Should be the same.
In the sense of like, okay, you're upset. What are you feeling?
Right.
You know, the compassion that we didn't get, or
Yeah.
you know, our generation's parents weren't.
Right.
There's been a major shift in like how do we take care of our kids now,
And communicate.
right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I get frustrated with it
Yeah.
sometimes, but there's no question I'm a believer now that it's the better way.
Yeah. Well, you've kind of always had your hands on like both sides of things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
But I also think that, you know, discipline is it's kind of like integral.
hmm.
And sometimes now the language and like some of the methods, the discipline gets a little bit like, well, is that really discipline?
Yeah.
Or
You're taking your shit out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like it. You should get the Jocko Willink book, Way of the Warrior Kid.
Okay.
I think they are making it. They're making it into a movie right
Really?
now with Chris Pratt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
check it out.
auditioned for it.
What does it mean to raise a son in this new world?
I think that my mentality, if I was a dad 20 years ago,
Yeah.
versus being a dad today, like the way that I measure the whole thing is Nash is just a direct reflection of me and his mom
Totally.
and how we are as parents.
How we operate, how we communicate, how we feel things, all of it.
So when he goes to a play date, or when he's at the park, or when he's at jujitsu or at the golf course playing with older kids, like I want him to look. It's funny. It's like look like a pro. So that's what I say to him when we get to the golf course, and he's
Yeah.
kind of if he's tired or
Right. Hungry. Yeah.
like whatever. He's grumpy. He's like it's taken him a minute. He was asleep. He just woke up. I just say to him, I got these things like look like a pro. Like if we're at a birthday party, it's like look like a pro.
I love that.
Like get focused, Nash.
Yeah,
look like a pro. Take
Lock
care
in.
of the girls.
Yeah.
The girls are over here, and like bridge the gap. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And he gets it.
Yeah.
And like he totally gets it. And there's times where I don't need him to look like a pro.
Right.
If there's silly time and it's like I see it and they're in the pool and
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
he also sees you do that too. I
yeah.
imagine that's like a lot of energy you bring into spaces.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works better than others, right?
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
certainly now. Yeah, no, of course. But even when I was younger,
Yeah.
and not being a dad was the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
I still always, anytime the younger kids were around, like that's my sweet spot because I had good role models playing.
Yeah.
Older guys that I played with early that
Yeah.
like you could just see when they needed to turn it on and then when they just were regular and had fun.
Yeah.
But like it was a thing, like look like a pro. So I should sell T-shirts. I need like a fucking online store. What was the thing you said earlier? The great
Don't
little
take the struggle away.
don't take the struggle away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Look like a pro.
Look like a pro.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. No, it's good. What was your childhood like in Ontario?
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
It's a different world.
yeah, I mean, I love seeing that there's a meme like you wake up in the morning, you put your clothes on, you brush your teeth, you leave the house with your bike, you drink out of the neighbor's lawn hose when you need to get a drink, like you figure out lunch, you eat at a friend's house for lunch.
Yeah.
Like that's how we grew up. It
Right.
was just like, we didn't have the dangers that we have now because of social media and
It's crazy.
geotagging and all whatever you're worried about.
Yeah.
Um so but as a kid I was totally out of control. I was out of control. Like I bit my mom in the parking lot at Chuck E. Cheese because I didn't want to leave.
What, 14, 15?
No,
No, just kidding.
imagine. No, I think I was 6.
Yeah.
Which is too old to be biting anyone.
Yeah.
And I don't like biting now. Like when I see, sometimes you see it like a
Right.
kid, it's triggering
It's
for
definitely
me.
a trigger for you. Yeah.
And then I go, holy shit, I'm triggered by something
Yeah.
that I did to my mom when I was a
Right.
kid.
Those things don't leave. Yeah.
And so when I think about my childhood, I think about my parents were saints and they just kind of kept the train on the tracks. And I was also a little bit different because I was I know I was. I got hyper focused on one thing super early.
Right.
And thank God that I had that.
Was that something that was prevalent in other family members? Did you
I mean,
have that sort of access?
no, my
In-
dad played. He
He did.
played like major junior
Yeah.
in Canada and was a pretty good player. Won like the Pee Wee tournament in Quebec growing up.
Nice.
He played all his life.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I didn't grow up like going to the rink with him.
Right.
Which now it's like in sports, it's very interesting. There's so many father-son players in sports now,
yeah.
so much more
Totally.
than before.
Football for sure.
And hockey, like Kachuk, there's 2 kids, these Kachuk brothers. One just won the Stanley Cup. Their dad was a great player. So something's happening where like these dads are shifting because I played with Brett Hall, whose dad was Bobby Hall, and
Legends.
Brett grew up around the rink. But that was really it was because his dad was Bobby Hall and his dad could get away with things differently.
Right.
Now the access and the teams are built so that like family's much more part of the core of it.
Right.
And if the kids want to, this kid plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, he's one of the best players in the NHL right now. I play with his dad in New York for the Rangers, and Willie and his brother used to come on the ice after practice.
Sick.
And like 6, 7 years old, and I go, these kids are unbelievable.
Really?
And now
At that age, you saw it.
oh yeah,
Wow.
because they were out there.
Yeah.
Like they were taking passes from NHL players.
Right.
We were playing with them. They were
Yeah.
kind of. So I think that the ability to be a role model now in a way that was much different than probably our dads, like the discipline aspect, how I sometimes check in and go like, what are you feeling right now?
Right.
Like instead of saying like enough, act
Right.
like a pro.
Right.
I go, okay, we got a minute.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Why are you
Yeah.
rattled? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing because he'll tell me.
Yeah.
And my dad never asked me that,
Never.
which, part of me is so thankful that he didn't.
Yeah.
A big part of me because, and even now, like in a career shift, like emotion is so important,
Mhm.
as you know,
Yeah.
and being able to feel emotion. And when I was playing in my previous life, being a hockey player, emotion is like frowned upon
Mm.
because you just want to keep it level.
You have
Or
to.
if you want to be enraged, like you better just stay at that level.
Right.
You can't be enraged and then all of a sudden show like softness or
Right.
weakness.
No.
So it's a
You gotta play
very
a role on the ice
you
for
got to
sure.
play
I
a
mean,
role.
you did especially,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you, like, approached the game so much differently, I feel like.
yeah. I think it was sort of it was my like Game of Thrones.
Mm.
Like I was setting up the deck at who I needed to take down at what point.
Yeah.
When am I gonna hit that button? Try and kill that person.
Right,
But
right,
I know that's gonna trigger a whole other thing, and then that person's gonna try and kill me.
right.
Because that's how I played. Like most guys don't have to think that way because they just are. We're gonna go out and play offense and defense,
Right. We're gonna play the
score
game.
more,
Yeah.
and that's it. But mine was like such a
Scrappier.
it was so methodical because that was sort of my role was to be able to shift emotions quickly.
And the energy of the game
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there were rules written into law
There
because
were.
of how you played the game.
There were.
I mean, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
though. Like, you
Yeah.
truly shifted the game of hockey.
Yeah, I tried to push every single envelope as far as I could on every single situation. And it's funny now because, you know, um, streamers are a big part of the world right
Yeah.
now, and sports and streamers are huge. And Amazon's just starting they have a deal for the Canadian games on Monday nights in Canada.
Okay.
So they're stepping into it first in the Canadian market, and then they're going to take
Right.
over.
They're
'Cause,
testing it. Yeah.
yeah, that's Amazon. They put a panel together. Now, TNT also has a panel for the NHL games during the season. I can't get a job on a panel. I'm the smartest hockey analyst breathing air right now.
They're scared of you.
They're so scared.
Yeah.
And that's all based on now. Chris Nolan put me in fucking Oppenheimer,
Right.
and I the stakes are pretty high at that level.
Absolutely.
But they're so scared, and it's all based on the reputation of a 12-year period of when
Right.
I played because I was so vicious and nasty and mean and you know
Greasy.
yeah, greasy and just not nice. And like I did it whatever it took to be the player that I was supposed to be.
Hmm.
So that's an interesting thing, right? Because like now you asked me at the beginning, like, who am
Yeah.
I? I'm still that guy.
Yeah.
I can play that guy if you need me to play
For
that guy.
sure.
Like I'll turn that guy on right now. But if I'm on a panel now, like I want to talk about the kids.
Yeah.
Like I want to say, kids, this is why you don't do this play. If you want to be a player, if you're a defensive defenseman, I don't want to talk to people at home, beer league guys. Like this is the beauty of this sport is like that kids walk around and they wear jerseys with guys' names on their back and they idolize these guys.
Yeah.
And I also used to think that athletes, I was like, I don't know if you could consider athletes idols. Like I know what goes on behind the scenes and a lot of shit is not
Totally.
idol-esque,
Yeah.
right? But no question they are.
Right.
No question they are. The good, the bad, and the ugly
Yeah.
from it. And it's just it's crazy. You're gonna see it, other parents, how other parents interact and how my dad never said anything to me. Good game, bad game, same guy.
Really.
And I think he was so smart to do it because it didn't inflame. I already had an ego at 12 years old. I didn't need my dad telling me how great
To
I
gas
was.
you up. Yeah.
But then he chose not to lay it on me when I played like shit.
Did your mom tell you had a good game?
No, but she would tell me I had a bad game if I didn't play. If I didn't work hard, she would let me know.
Yeah.
But my dad was always super neutral.
Hmm.
Parents now, Instagram and the stakes, and they're so high, and they think like they got to get somewhere with their kids instead of just like letting them be kids.
Especially here, I mean, you're raising a son in LA right now.
Yeah.
And that's why we left New York. We just didn't want You
Yeah.
didn't want that. That's already so hard. Life is fucking hard right now.
We have Nepo babies. I just
Yeah.
kind of came to somebody told me that yesterday. They're like, no, Nash is a Nepo baby.
For sure.
And I said, I guess, yeah, like, but anyone can kind of be a Nepo baby because anyone can be famous now.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I
Right?
hadn't
Is
thought
it
about
not
that way.
based off of Nepo as sort of like you're the
Fame has shifted. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fame has shifted.
Does he know who you guys are?
Um,
Like if you
I
guys
think sometimes he'll look at me and uh like I'll do something, whatever it is. Like even if he wants to go into the batting cages, and I'm not a baseball player by any means,
Yeah.
but like I can still the mechanics of it.
Right.
So I can see sometimes he looks at me like, huh, like kind of move a little bit different than everyone else. You know, like but I don't, I think he thinks I'm cool,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I've never showed him like a clip of me
Oh,
playing.
you haven't yet?
No,
No.
I haven't even thought of doing that. It's so
Interesting.
weird.
Do you guys get recognized when you're out and people come up to you and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, but he doesn't I think he just kind of thinks that because I'm pretty friendly, I've become
Yeah.
like a friendly person,
Love that for you.
which is partly because people approach and they're like Nash, and they go, "Oh my God, when did you start playing? I got a boy at home. He just turned 2," and
Yeah.
like, so parents, it forces you to kind of become
A softer energy
Yeah.
for sure.
So I think when people come up and ask for a picture, sometimes he's like,
Yeah.
"What's going on?"
Yeah.
But he's also doesn't really pay much attention to
Right.
it, and
Yeah.
he just keeps it moving. But I'm also generally just chasing him.
Mm.
When I tell him something, like with golf, as an example, I never try and correct anything that he does. I go, "Hey Nash, what would happen if you hit
Huh.
a shot like this?" And I'm just wondering. I ask him, like, I'm just wondering.
I love that.
And I'll move my feet if I think that it could be a correction for him, and I'll do it that way. And because otherwise he won't,
He'll say no. Yeah.
he'll say no,
Yeah.
and he watches and that's how he learns. Like he kind of mimics things sometimes, and if he likes it, then it'll stay sticky with him.
Yeah.
But anytime I try and really kind of tell him
Give him
something,
direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't ever really want to, like, I don't want to be his coach.
Mm.
Like, I like jiu-jitsu's great because Brazilians, for the most part, he's got a Brazilian coach, and Brazilians are still Brazilian.
Yeah.
And they're not really checking in with feelings that much.
Right,
And
right,
like in
right.
that environment,
Especially that environment.
it's great.
Yeah.
You bow, you say yes, professor,
Right.
all the things that, but I put Nash in, there's a school here called YADA, Youth Academy Dramatic Arts.
Okay, cool.
And it
I
was
was
a
gonna ask you about
6-week
this, yeah.
program. And,
Sick.
he liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't like the performance day. It's weird. He's so
Got nervous about
Yeah,
it?
he didn't he's got that boy in him. I can see he's having a tough time like being vulnerable in something that he doesn't feel super confident in. Like if you put him up on the first tee at the Masters
Yeah.
on like the Pro-Am day and it
Yeah.
was a full gallery, he would not give a fuck. He would plant his feet and just hit a bomb.
Lock in. Yeah.
They were doing Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And I could tell I could see me in him. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Am I really going to do this? Because he's not going to stand there and just go,
Right.
Like, he was making the decision, like, I got to go there and sing and
act
dance.
like a pro.
Yeah, act like a pro. And in that situation, I knew he didn't feel comfortable. And Hillary got mad at me because I was like, I was a little disappointed. And this was a while ago. This was like 6 months because everything is evolving every day. Like
Every week. Yeah. It's
the
crazy.
disappointment and
Yeah.
how you express it. And I was just because and also because we took it was Mondays and that replaced jujitsu so I'm sitting there as a dad thinking like, we just wasted 5 weeks.
Mm.
Initially, that's my thought. Like
Yeah.
we wasted 5 weeks of like jujitsu and discipline, and maybe that discipline would have helped him understand that
On
this was a
stage.
moment.
Yeah.
And that's just fucking crazy. But at least I identify it now.
Yeah, and you can unpack it
Right.
and then have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And now you'll be able to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of processing is new.
Yeah.
Right? It
Very.
just is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cool.
Now, are you the master of it? Or do you have moments?
No, of course I have moments. Yeah, for sure.
What do you do?
In what way?
Like, not in the actual, like where you start to, where your patience or you're just like, oh man, fuck.
I channel it into work, into art.
Yeah.
I just go and write something or
Yeah.
make something or
Yeah.
do something in the house.
Yeah.
Like, have conversations about it. You
Yeah.
know? I've always, I mean, since I was a kid, I've just like tried to channel that energy into creating something else with it.
Yeah.
That's how I started writing music. I was like, fuck, I'm about to become a dad. Like, I have no idea how my life is going to change.
Yeah.
What do I know how to do?
Yeah.
I know how to create. So I'm just going to start writing songs about it.
Are you a different actor now?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, granted, I haven't been on set.
Right,
Yeah.
but you can feel it.
But there's an emotionality, yeah, and an access to where
Yes.
I'm layered in a brand new way.
Right. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And it's even
That's nice.
outside of my work, right? It's like how I communicate with my mom.
Yeah.
You know, how I like communicate with the cash register while I'm checking out at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like truly everything is different.
Yeah.
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 And how can you explain that to someone who doesn't have a kid?
No, it's very hard. You couldn't have explained it to me because the reality is I was always like, I'll have a kid when I'm done playing.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have been such a better player if I had kids early.
Interesting.
Oh, I would have been fucking so much better. So much more focused, so much more like it would have slowed the game down for me.
Yeah.
Like what a mistake. What a mistake.
Huh.
Yeah, totally
That's
fucked up.
fascinating.
Totally fucked up.
Because you played with a bunch of guys that had kids, obviously.
And I always was like, "What are you crazy?
Yeah.
Dan Girardi, you're 26, you got 3 kids?
Yeah.
Dude, he's the king of the world."
Yeah.
Especially now cuz they're all like probably 13, 14.
Right. Well, it's a young man's game for sure, bro.
Definitely.
I mean, you had your first at what, 39?
40.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even just.
And I'm a young 40.
Right. Totally.
You know, most, you know.
There's a reason
Yeah, it is.
men were having kids at 18, 100 years ago.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. Especially women too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's certainly that.
Do you want more?
Here's what's interesting. I go, okay, and this is always sort of weird, but like it's kind of happening, and I go, and every parent should say this about their kid, but like I go, we have a very special kid.
Yeah.
Like I know this kid's gonna be, he's just gonna be he's gonna be high level in some form, right? If it's sports, the amount that will go into it and the resources that it takes.
Yeah.
And, you know, with each kid comes more responsibilities and more separation from each other, even inside the family, like while it's happening.
Totally.
You know, mom's over here with her and dance, and I'm here, and we're in Seattle for a tournament, and shit's expensive, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know how anyone does it.
I don't know.
Truly.
I don't know. Shit's expensive. Soccer, 400. T-ball, 600. Like, and you start adding kids and like, I don't know. I don't know. But also it's such a beautiful thing to have siblings and see, me and my brother are 8 years apart. So like I sort of identify as an only child because I moved away when I was 16. He was 8. Yeah. You know, we're just becoming like bros now.
Right.
He's gonna have a kid, and then it really starts.
Right.
But I don't know. You never say never.
Yeah.
You never say never.
Yeah.
I just think about like Serena's dad.
Yeah.
Serena and Venus's dad.
That movie was unbelievable.
Great movie.
Fucking unbelievable.
Great. I'm using that as a wild example, but you know, they're playing the same sport.
Right.
He had them both
right
there the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
How would
rare is that?
Right.
Yeah.
And what would have
Just
happened?
have two kids that want to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I use as an example because what if he had a boy that was a soccer player?
Right.
And Serena Venus would have lost all that time with him working on that one thing that she was meant to be. Would she have been a different player?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Totally.
I think so.
Yeah. How could she not have been?
It's the accumulation of like those days and hours and so and I think about it in any sense, like if Nash's passion turns from golf to baseball or singing and dancing,
Right.
like I think he's just going to go so hard in whatever he does that I romanticize thinking about being able to put everything into that journey for him.
What a special thing for him to have that level of support.
Right.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. And
That's
just
what
turn
it's
him
all
into
about.
like a samurai
Yeah.
and whatever.
Totally.
So,
I mean, I would love for my kids to be artists in one way or another, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time, but it's
yeah.
up to them. Like, whatever they decide they want to do, even at a young age, I want them to try everything.
Yeah.
Try it.
I don't know about UFC fighter.
No,
I think that would be the one thing I'd be like, listen.
Yeah, that's rough.
I don't know if it's, I don't know. And even boxing. And honestly, like football scares me a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because much like we're all evolving as parents and certainly dads, sports is evolving and we're understanding the repercussions of like trauma, the different kind of trauma hitting your fucking head against another guy's head like repetitively for 18 years. It's not good. Can't be good. It's not good. I see these guys.
Yeah,
These guys are,
them, yeah.
you know. So,
and the other side, like, we're a house full of artists. Like, what if this kid was like, no, I want to be an astrophysicist? Like,
right.
Okay, how are we going to figure this out?
Yeah.
Just have a brainy kid in the house?
Yeah.
Well, or just like super straight edge kid, right?
Right.
Like, you have no idea who these people are going to be.
Yeah. That's why I don't put any.
Got you.
Like anytime. It doesn't matter. What he's doing right now is what he wants to do. So we're all in.
Yeah.
And the moment he shifts, I will never have any expectations or like go.
Yeah.
Go, bro.
That. I mean, that's
you can't do it any other way.
You can't give more to a child.
No.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you have more, right? That
it gets.
Yeah. I mean, we want a whole pack. We're shooting for 4.
Right.
Bethany has a brother that has 9.
Yeah, that's.
What does your grocery bill look like every month?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're some of the best kids I've ever met in my life. Yeah. And there's a whole baseball team in the house,
Yeah.
Like when they get together to just like play kickball outside, like legendary.
Yeah. What, do you have a name?
Yeah.
You know.
The first Kilmer is Bethany's mom's maiden name.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful maiden name. Kilmer.
And we're using.
What is that, Scottish?
I think so. I don't know if he was Scottish.
Something like that.
Yeah, some European.
Yeah.
But we're using my mom's maiden name for the second one.
Which is?
Pesci.
Oh, bro.
Fucking A.
Bro. Bro.
So good, right?
So good.
Yeah.
So good. He's Pesci.
Pesci Pearl. Kilmer Dove and Pesci Pearl.
Wow. That's heavy. So Nash is named after Graham Nash.
Nice.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Because when I got traded to LA, my parents were big Neil Young and Joni Mitchell fans.
Yeah.
And CSNNY, and I was like, oh no, I want to live in Laurel Canyon. I had never even been to Laurel Canyon.
You just knew, yeah.
And then we were on a flight, and we were sitting in first class, and Graham Nash sat down beside me, and Hillary was like on the other, and I was just like, holy fuck, I'm a huge Graham Nash fan. Like, I love Graham Nash. And
right next to you.
Yeah, right next to me. But we had been talking about using Nash as a name off of, so I kind of like looked over at her.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pesci. Wow. Your mom, it looks like a Pesci.
She is a Pesci through and through. Yeah.
Wow.
I love it. It was her idea to get you in here. My mom's idea. She was like, you have to call Sean.
Yeah.
I was like, Genius idea done.
She's been vibing with me for like probably the last 2 years
I
pretty
love
hard.
it.
Her and
I love it
Nash,
so
her and
much.
Nash, I feel like they're very tight. They haven't met yet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're super close.
Good.
Just to like watch her become a grandparent. I don't know if you have this same relationship with your mom in the same way,
Totally.
but it's been like
It
fucking
changes everything.
transformative.
Yeah.
Like everything I thought I knew as a kid,
Yeah.
you know, to like watch her do it again at this level.
Yeah.
Like the greatest move we made was getting closer to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents both had knee replacements because of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like they
Yeah.
gotta move.
I gotta keep up.
You know?
Yeah.
So they said, "Fuck it, we gotta get some speed on
Yeah.
our side here."
When you think about the future and them getting older or Nash getting older
Yeah.
and knowing your past, I mean, I think about this all the time and just like what is instilled and permanent on the internet, all the shit that we've done over the years,
Yeah.
like the press that exists, you know, like we both have had some crazy shit that exists
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
interwebs. Like, do you think about what that moment looks like? When
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
yo, dad, what's this?
Yeah, no, it's funny. I haven't ever thought about it
Really?
up until right now. I've
Really?
never even thought like, oh man, he might go online and like
Yeah.
see shit.
Dude, it's there forever.
Like, yeah, me like coming out of Hyde, like all banged up.
Dude.
You know,
God,
with like
you couldn't
a
pay me
girlfriend.
to go back to those
No, I
fucking
know. Me neither.
Oh.
I just think of how early I have to be up. All the crazy shit, the bike lane shit,
The
like
bike lane shit, bro.
fucking the bike lane stuff is wild.
They pulled a case up on you for that,
Oh
didn't
yeah, yeah. And I fought it
You did?
and I lost.
You did?
But they didn't. They basically said you're guilty, but we're only saying you're guilty because we kind of have to say you're guilty, but you don't have to do anything.
Wait, we have to preface
There was no
thi-
punishment.
We have to preface the story. What is the bike lane shit? Tell the people.
Okay, so prior to COVID hitting, to the pandemic beginning, you could feel a shift in the world. Like
Yeah.
there was some weird shit happening. So 18 into 19 in New York City started getting a little wild. It started to get a little like out of control. We
Right.
had a new mayor. The city was breaking down.
Yeah.
And Amazon was taking over. And all of a sudden mom and pop stores were going away, but the root of the problem was the delivery trucks. In the bike lanes. And I was a biker. I would go everywhere. I'd go back and forth to acting class on my bike. I had fucking scooters. I had skateboards, anything that could get me moving
From
in
A
a
to
bike
B
lane.
quicker.
Yeah. And I just started to get enraged by like the bike lane blockage. And I just started to lose my mind. And
Publicly.
yeah. And you know what's funny? This is what's so ironic. Maybe I ultimately am full of good karma because the reason that I got the Happy Gilmore job
Fucking
was with the audition, we did a quick little sizzle of me yelling at people in the bike lanes.
genius, Sean. That was your idea.
No, it wasn't. It was the casting director's
But
idea.
still.
Yeah.
I mean, genius idea.
Yeah. John Papsadera. Shout out, John.
Love Papsy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The king. The king just knows, like, and by the way, his new movie that he cast Saturday night, Jason Reitman's movie in Toronto, I'm hearing it's like incredible.
Really?
I just got goosebumps. Yeah. He told me, so isn't that fucking wild and ironic?
I was just talking about this to another actor that like it's everything that you do online at this point is part of the audition.
Yes,
Every single
is.
thing. They have eyes everywhere.
You're right. What you like,
Everything.
what you post.
Yeah.
You know?
Who knows? Somebody may be watching this at some point. It's like, yo, those two need to play brothers. in this movie.
Right.
Like,
No, I know.
Truly, you have no idea.
Yeah. So the bike lane period, which at some point Nash is going to watch, and thank God now I can go, you know what,
Yeah.
dude? If I ever see you doing this shit, you're not acting like a pro, first of all.
Huh.
All right. Second of all, bro, don't play this game. It's not cool.
Mm.
Like, that was not a cool period.
Mm.
All right. I was totally unhinged.
Mm.
I was obviously on the verge of like something was happening to me and I was feeling something and maybe the world was whatever it was,
Right.
don't act like that. But I'll tell you, and I always say this, is like I learned from my mistakes, and thank God because of that, I got rewarded somehow down the line.
Yeah.
It doesn't justify it, but like
Right. There's
you
light
gotta,
at the end of the tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The fighting, the hockey stuff. I'm not so worried about him watching that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I
all
mean,
the
but
other stuff has always been like anytime I've been arrested, or it's
yeah.
usually like fighting related or me trying to challenge authority. Um,
What if he's like, what's the shit with you and mom that's online?
yeah, I mean, I think that I would say go talk to your mom.
Yeah. as
Go
simple
ask
as
your mom.
possible. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I would no. I mean, I think I would say to him like, brother, you got to be careful
Yeah.
in any situation, no matter where emotions go. Like you have to understand that the world is a different place now, and if uh, uh, somebody doesn't feel right, and you know, somebody next door makes a phone call,
Hmm.
the fucking repercussions of everything now are so much more heightened.
Yeah.
And
Stakes are raised everywhere.
you know, I look at all this shit as like great learning lessons
Mm.
for our kids.
Yeah.
Like to not be able to say like, yo, I fucked up in so many different areas. Like, let me tell you about this area.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, when you make a bunch of money initially,
Yeah.
you don't need to buy anything.
Right.
Just let it sit.
Yeah.
You don't need a car. You don't need fucking clothes.
Cocaine.
You don't need cocaine,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It's so funny because the one thing that I was so scared of in high school was I was like, I'll never do cocaine. I've still never done cocaine.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that.
And and I like drugs. I like
Yeah.
feeling a little bit enhanced at
Yeah.
times, okay? I was afraid of that, and I was afraid of getting a girl pregnant
Mm.
because there was a stigma that like, I mean, if you get a girl pregnant at 18, like you're not
Your
going to get
your
drafted.
life is over. Yeah.
You don't get drafted as a single dad.
Right.
Football was always different because they put it in movies. It was like
Yeah. It was part of the
it
story.
was part of the storyline.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the running back, he's got a kid
Right.
in high school.
Right.
Crazy that they did that,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it's just racism 101.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was happening. Like I know guys that it happened to that
Yeah.
were white, that were
Mhm.
Canadian,
Yeah, of
and the same
course it
thing,
happened.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I was terrified of that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's even, you know, it's funny when I think about this, like the sex talk at some point
Yeah.
during life I'm
Yeah.
gonna have with him,
Totally.
and I was terrified. 1990 from 97, 98, 99. I remember me and my peers like we were still very afraid of getting
You have
AIDS.
AIDS. Yeah. Totally.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that straight up right now.
Yeah.
Like unprotected sex we would think about it like, yo, you could get AIDS
And die.
and die.
Yeah. Or kill somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was totally different.
Yeah.
And then obviously the pregnancy issue, but yeah, and now that conversation has changed, to me and Nash. Like, I want to be able to tell him early on that, like, dude, porn is the devil.
Mm.
Yo, bro. Like, let me tell you something. Dating apps, you don't ever need a dating app.
Mm.
You're going to be able to be a man and walk in places and say hi to the cashier.
Yeah.
And she might go to you, you know what, my daughter, you should meet my daughter. And that might become your wife.
Who knows what it's going to look like when our kids
Right.
are old enough to
But
do that shit.
Stay away from it. Because human interaction is going to be the most important thing.
Well, it's already changing
I hope.
so fast.
Right.
I mean, when I start to think about really what's going to happen with AI and like the integration, when that's like in our heads,
Yeah.
when we're able to get chipped, we're not that far out.
Yeah.
Right. And what that is going to do,
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking spiral.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, we didn't get Nash vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. And I'm not like a fucking conspiracy theorist
Yeah.
or anything, but like I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, facts are facts. Yeah.
We didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he got COVID. He got like sick and it was a thing. But all of this stuff that's like I just have this feeling of like just leave the kids alone. You want to fuck with us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. But
Mhm.
just let them be kids and
Yeah.
like be cool and jump on trampolines and do whatever. I don't know what they do, you know? Let them I watch them. I love watching 4-year-olds talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
I can watch it all day long. I like watching it and not hearing the words.
Yeah.
I like just to
seeing
see
the interaction, the physicality.
and I'm like,
yeah.
oh my God, it's so that
It's just
to me,
so pure.
yeah, that is a beautiful thing.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can see them and you're going like, what are they talking about?
We could all learn so much.
Just simple shit, probably.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Why can't I use that toy?
hmm
Or here I'll yeah.
Yeah, the sharing thing
Sharing's
is
cool.
real. Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
There's so much more that I want to talk about right now, but we are over an hour.
That went fast.
Yeah, it went really fast. I feel like we could talk for days. Listen, we're gonna go do a bonus episode over on Patreon. We're gonna talk some about how we met, which
Yeah.
is a funny story.
Yes.
Really cool. There was a TV show that was being created about the story of your life, and I came across my desk and we met and started working together on it. But we're gonna tell over that all of that over at
Which,
Patreon.
by the way, Keith Cox. Do you remember
Yeah,
Keith?
of course. I just talked
Keith's
to him a
like
couple weeks ago.
he's the big dog over
Yeah.
at Paramount
King.
Plus, and they're killing it. Paramount Plus is on fire.
Yes, and
You got to do a show.
it's
I mean,
fucking messy over there right now.
Oh, really?
I mean, the layoffs over at Paramount, there's so much that's happening over there.
right,
Everywhere, really.
right.
Yeah.
But they're making good shows.
Yeah. I mean, with everything that Taylor
He's pumping
is
them out.
doing over there, yeah.
He's pumping out.
Yeah.
I did Lioness the first season.
Oh, nice.
I still haven't cracked him though. I need to get on a Taylor
I
show.
just sent that email out last week. Like,
Yeah,
let me
let's
on the
go.
fucking Taylor show.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. You'd have a good vibe with him.
Well, I'm in this like weird little transition, really, because like people thought, especially casting directors, there's this preconceived notion of like who I was
Right.
over the last 5 years.
Right.
And
What
now
that you can't play a bad man.
Right, exactly. And now there's this like, reinvention. There's like a reintroduction to the world that I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
And I actually think this break in Hollywood is going to work in my favor
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You come back and you have to.
You have to. I want to do
'Cause-
this for the rest of my life. There's no
Yeah.
questions that.
Right.
No question about it. There's something about the ability to transform and to become other people
Yeah.
that is addicting.
Yeah.
I really think it should be a prerequisite for all kids.
Yeah.
Not that they like have to become actors, but the training that goes into acting, from
Yeah.
being in acting school.
Yeah.
You just have to look at yourself in ways that you couldn't ever even imagine.
Yeah.
It's therapy.
Well, yeah, and it's vulnerability, and I think maybe that's why I was so drawn to it because
Yeah.
I had never been able to be vulnerable.
Totally.
I hadn't straight up. It was
Yeah.
like, no, don't.
Wasn't
act
an
like
option.
that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't do that shit.
Yeah.
So then I was all of a sudden like, holy shit, and it takes a while. You got to open that. You got to open it.
Right. Go over to Patreon. We're going to tell that story. We're also going to talk some about...
That's a great story too, by the way.
good.
It's worth the subscription.
Yeah.
Even if you do a month just to hear this story, because it's
Fuck
a
yeah.
wild story that no one would think you would be a part of.
No.
I mean, the connection and
Yeah.
Chicago,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That show should come back to
It
life.
should, yeah.
And also we're going to talk some about, which I'm sure you've talked about a million times, but I want to get into just some how the vogue of it all really worked out and how you got introduced into the fashion world.
Yeah.
People it's a story that exists, but let's.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the only one that still has ever. Well, maybe they did it after me, but I
Right.
was the first.
Definitely the first. And
Yeah.
you see it more in sports now,
Yeah.
right? Especially football and basketball. But on the hockey level, bro, you
Yeah.
were the trailblazer.
Yeah.
One more question, or I guess two more questions before we close out this episode.
Yeah.
One, what is something in your life that you are actively working on shifting at the moment?
Oh man, I feel like so much has shifted.
Yeah.
That it's so funny because like I don't get angry at people that speed in the neighborhood anymore. But I've channeled it in a way that I go, oh, whatever, the bomb's gonna go off. You're gonna hurt somebody one day. I would like to start helping maybe somebody more. Like I don't know. There's something, I feel like I should probably I want to coach a team. But it's so dangerous, There's so many things now, like the coaching teams and what you can say and like
sensitivity politics.
Yeah, I don't know, but I wanna I gotta figure something out like that.
We need a TV show just called Coach. It's you.
Coach.
Coaching
Dude,
kids.
Coach, well, if you want to make it interesting, you give me 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Because that's where it starts popping.
We just remake the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. But just give me the kids.
Yeah.
We don't need anything else.
No, yeah.
We go to tournaments, we play games, we practice. And I want parents that allow me to just have full control.
Did you watch all of Letterkenny?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking A.
Have
you met him?
Dude, I just did an episode of Shoresy.
Really?
3 weeks ago.
Epic.
He's an unbelievably talented
dude.
The
force that is that man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He knows exactly what he wants you to say at the tempo he wants you to say it. The whole thing it's so artistic and stylized.
He really is a genius.
Jared Kiso, he's a fucking G, that kid. Yeah, I did it's coming out.
Fuck yeah. I love that shit.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Blank is full of shift.
I don't know, Fish is full of shift because I'm a big Fish fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Fish head.
The band.
Yeah, the band.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I was low key kind of touring with them in high school.
Oh, really?
It was when Trey was playing solo, but yeah, dude, I was a big Fish head.
Oh yeah. I'm a big Fish guy. Fish is full of shift.
We should go to a show at some point.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. Fish is full of shift. That was the last thing I thought you were gonna fucking say. But yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. Shifty. I like jams and I like things like I saw Fish at the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I can now I have a different head that I can hear music bounce off things now. And that's kind of cool. Directionally. And when a shift happens, certainly with jam bands, because nothing's really planned.
Right.
I can't listen to traditional music anymore.
Yeah, I get that.
It's dead to me.
Have you ever written music?
No. I sing in the car.
Yeah.
I sing to warm up, before I go and tape an
Yeah.
audition. I'll do Migos or I like Western Memphis rap.
Yeah.
They hit the beats hard.
Find the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But no, I admire the art. I did a few stand-up shows this year at
nice.
Yeah, at the
I did
store.
not know that.
Yeah, I just went up and
I just kind of wrote a stand-up act, actually. I've never done it before, but
yours would be good.
you have so much fun.
Yeah, I just did crowd work. I just riffed people. It's so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
genius.
not even, but it's how hard can I go?
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful art form. You got to follow this guy. I don't know. Do you know who Red Bar is?
No.
Red Bar is a YouTuber that you got to check out.
All right, I'll check it out for sure.
All right.
Y'all, go over to Patreon right now. We got more to talk about. Fucking Sean Avery, y'all. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, bro.
This is Full of Shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift. Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.
Nico and Bethany are full of shift.